Welcome to Wine Talks. This is the place for you. You're either a wine lover or you're starting your career in wine. With us, you're going to learn about wine in a fun and relaxed way. And this will give you confidence to buy and sell wine and to talk about wine with your friends or with your guests. My name is Petar. I'm a certified wine educator, sommelier, and a co-founder of Winery, which is the Center for Wine Education in Macedonia. This is episode 1 where we're going to talk about what is wine. Welcome to Wine Talks. We can definitely debate, is wine art or science? I think it's both. But the definition for wine is very simple. Wine is fermented grape juice, and fermentation is the process where yeast, which you can find naturally in the vineyard on the grapes or it's added inside the winery, eats the sugar that you can find inside the grape and transfer that sugar into alcohol and carbon dioxide, which is very important for sparkling wines, but that's a topic for another video. The family of grapes that is used to make wine is called Vitis vinifera, and members of Vitis vinifera are well-known grape varieties like, for example, Cabernet Sauvignon or Chardonnay. Grape variety has everything that's required to make a premium wine. If you cut the grape in half, you'll see the two main parts of the grape. The outer part is called the skin, and skin contains tannins, anthocyanins, which are very important for red wines, and also flavors. The inner part of the grape is called the flesh, and the flesh contains mainly water and also acids and sugars. Grapes grow on wine plants, and wine plants can live more than 100 years and produce grapes once a year. That's why on wine labels you can see a vintage. Vintage means in which year the grapes were grown. And wine as a plant doesn't require much, and everything that it needs, it's in their surroundings. It needs water, warmth, sunlight and carbon dioxide, and uses the chlorophyll, which you can find in the wine leaves, to produce carbohydrates, which are required for the growth of the wine plant and its grapes. Wine starts to bud in spring, when the average temperatures reach around 10 degrees Celsius. Wine starts to develop its leaves, shoots and flowers. Every pollinated flower will become a grape. And grapes need around 100 to 120 days of sunshine in order to ripen properly. Vineyards around the world are located between 30 and 50 degrees latitude in northern and southern hemisphere. Warmer climates are found closer to the equator, so closer to 30 degrees, where black grapes dominate. So it means if you're somewhere in southern Italy, wines that are produced there are fuller bodied. So it means high levels of tannin, of sugar, high levels of alcohol, and the aromas are very, very ripe, almost jammy, and lower levels of acidity. On the other hand, if you're closer to the poles, closer to the 50 degrees, you're somewhere in northern France, there, white grape varieties dominate, and the wines that are produced there are lighter body. So it means lighter levels of sugar, lighter alcohol, higher acid, and the aromas are more fresh and tart. So how do you make wine? Well, that's definitely a complex subject, and I'm not a winemaker, but I have a lot of friends that are winemakers and they can how wine is made in detail. Here, I'm just gonna explain steps that are required to make white, red rosé and orange wine. When you make white wine, you need to use white grapes. You can also use black grapes, but you need to be careful not to extract any color that is found in the skins of black grapes. You press the grapes, so it means that you separate the juice from the skin. The juice ferments at lower temperatures for white wines, and this lower temperature is very important because it retains the freshness and aromas that are very important for white wines. Fermentation for white wines can either be in stainless steel or in oak barrels. White wines can ferment in oak barrels for the reason because they don't have the problem with the skins that you have when you're making red wine. When you finish the fermentation, you can transfer your wine either in stainless steel or in oak barrels for aging. After the wine finishes aging, it's transferred to the bottle, it's bottled, and it's ready for sale. When you're making red wine, you need to use black grapes. Black grapes are required because you need to extract the color which is found in the skins of black grapes. You crush the black grapes and the process of maceration and fermentation starts. Maceration is basically a process where the juice and the skins are in contact with each other. Fermentation temperatures for red wines are higher than for white wines. This is important because you need higher temperatures in order to extract more color and tannin for red wines. After the wine fermentation finishes, the wine is transferred either in inox steel or in oak barrels. After the wine finishes aging, it's bottled and it's ready for sale. When you make rosé wine, you need to use black grapes because you need to extract a little bit color in order to make a rosé color. When you make rosé wine, you crush the grapes first in order for the grapes to have maceration together with the skin. So you extract a little bit of color. But this time is very short, just enough to extract a little color. When you have your desired rosé color, you press the grapes, so you separate the skin from the juice, and the juice continues fermenting at lower temperatures without the skin. When the fermentation finishes, wine is transferred either in inox steel or oak barrels. I just need to say that usually rosé wines don't age in oak because they're very fresh and delicate. When the wine finishes its aging, if it ages, it's bottled and it's ready for sale. So how do you make orange wine? Well, it's like making red wine, but you use white grapes. So you have your bottle of wine and you're asking yourself what's inside. Well, believe it or not, around 85% is pure water. Somewhere between 10 and 15% is alcohol, and all the rest is this that makes a huge difference for the style of wine. It's flavors, glycerol, anthocyanins, tannins, carbohydrates. Yes, wine has carbohydrates, and depending on the style, the wine can have between 400 and 1,400 calories, depending on the style. So if you have a white wine that's dry, high levels of acid, low levels of sugar, the wine has around 400 calories. On the other hand, if you have a sweet wine that has high levels of sugar, high level of alcohol, wine can have up to 1,400 calories. Thank you so much for watching the first episode of Wine Talks. We hope this was fun and informative for you. And if you don't want to miss the next episode, please subscribe to our channel. And if you like this video and want to help us share wine knowledge, press like and share. Until next time, when we're going to talk about types and styles of wines, cheers!